Hi everyone, we're back again on with questions and answers session, and my beautiful friend Ahava is gonna ask me the questions. We received so many emails and really deep questions, and let's see what Ahava pick up. I gave it to make a decision to pick up the question. We're gonna stay to one topic this time, not to go too much over the place. So go ahead, honey.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be back. So my questions today are around soulmates and twin flames. So I guess my first question would be, or I'll sort of say all the questions that we're going to talk about today. So what really is a soulmate? Does everyone have one? Can there be multiple soulmates for one person? And then what is the difference between a soulmate and a twin flame?
It's definitely a very important question, and this is the question I feel I will call right away. I'm going to start right away without filter. It's one of the biggest trap in this matrix. Is the whole concept about the soulmate, the twin flame. And if you tune to my channel and you right now gonna enjoy this session, so somehow you already start to come to conclusion, something off here in this dimension, something when you put things together, you realize it's not exactly how things presented to us, with all the pain and suffering, with all the separation happening between us, right? Despite, and we all such amazing souls. We went through so many different journeys, thousands, some of us maybe even million times reincarnation in this trap. And each time when we reincarnate, by the way, in upper level, in the matrix, they using this concept as a soulmate, one of the almost, I would say, number one concept to make us to come back for a variety of reasons. Your soulmate waiting for you, or your soulmate didn't do the job. Now you need to come back to help your soulmate. And there's a lot of information in the holy books, which is, holy books in the sense of holy books for this dimension. There's really in depth the concept discussed in the Zohar, the book of splendor. The book was written by one of the souls who achieve higher understanding, Shema Bar Yochai. So in the Zohar, for example, it says there's nothing new. The sections start this way. If I'm gonna rephrase, so right away make announcement. It's not exactly word to word, but this is the in concept. It says number one, it starts the section about the soulmates. It's in a portion of Torah Mishpatim. Mishpatim. It's not judges. Mishpatim. It's actually Mishin same. It's Mishpatim Mishpat. It's Beidin, like it's a court, like it's whatever's
law.
happening, laws. You will say yes, Mishpatim, it's like a laws. So in this section it says nothing new under the sun. Before our soul return back after each reincarnation, it's split to two halves, male and female. I'm just telling you exactly what it says in the Zohar, and I will tell you what I think about this. Again, I can't emphasize enough, do not take my information as the ultimate truth for you. I'm only sharing what is truth for me. I do not impose my information on anyone. As a free soul, and my mission of my channel, just to really to create environment for all of you to understand what is really the free soul, how it's up to you what information resonate with you on this particular moment at your evaluation when you evolve as a soul, because tomorrow you can think differently, you can see it, and it's okay. And this is the beauty of the freedom of the liberty of the soul. So it says in the Holy Zohar that there's nothing new under the sun, and when the soul needs to again to come back here to incarnate, it's split in two. But it actually says in the beginning of the creation it was split. It's I will gonna correct myself. It's not each time when we return. It's actually in the beginning we were separate. So it's mean most of all of us felt lack of certain part of us, which is we're constantly fishing, coming back here and look for another half. And each time when we return, they telling us, on top of all the guilt imposed on us, all the lies imposed on us, in the upper level when our soul's going through, uh, you need to review your life. They're showing you the review of everything what you went through, all the especially negative stuff, mainly just again the fear and the guilt to impose on you. And they're telling you, listen, there's another soulmate, especially discussed in the Zohar, about a woman, then women supposedly return here most of the time from the free will, because woman finish her incarnation long time ago, especially if women already get to the spiritual level. So each time she return to help her male soulmate, male side, her to help to do the job. And sometimes it's actually in some discussions, I became saying sometimes women need to go to jail. She needs to steal. She needs to kill. She needs to take certain atrocity in order to remove certain negativity from the soulmate. You understand? There's so much discussion about the soulmate. So I'm going to share information. Then maybe somebody talks about it, but I haven't found. So as I always say, I put all my knowledge, my wisdom together. For over 30 years, I studied Kabbalistic knowledge, Judaism, I studied Hinduism, I went to, Christianity. I think I have a fair amount understanding of Christianity. Islam is the only thing I didn't study in depth, but I know a lot, and I know the essence of Islam, why it was created, what is the place of Islam in this dimension, why it represent left column energy. Gvura was say, right, from the tree of life reality. Now let's come back to the soulmate concept.
So,
Really,
are you saying in the Zohar it says that a woman might come back? And
in a Zohar, no. In the Zohar says then many times a woman is the higher, potentially can have higher level of understanding of spirituality, because woman, it represents, again, we're talking about right now metrics conversation, okay? I always want to do this is the conversation of the program, of the metrics program. So it says that woman, because she's a vessel, she represents Malchut, and the world we live here, it's called Malchut. So therefore, woman, she's not guest, she's here at home. It actually says male energy in a way here like a guest, because it's like a pipe of energy, male, and woman is the vessel receiving the energy. It's same thing in a sexual relationship. A woman, it's a vessel. She can create because she can hold the sperm of male, and male, he's the pipe, he's the provide the energy. But male without female, so to say, cannot really accomplish a higher level of spirituality, because his energy going to be all over the place. Male need a vessel, and it's important
how
to find a
would
vessel.
sorry, so how would a woman going to jail and being like a thief help?
No, but I'm not. You see what I'm saying with that? The reason I brought this concept, and it's good you asking me this question, it's because, for example, male when he back here, on top of he took certain homework to work on it. Every time we create a new tikkun, new new negative shells, like with each behavior, on top of we already receive with the program, with our natal chart, we have to work so much on it. We receive so many things from our ancestral lineage, our traits of character, our certain illnesses, the way how we behave, our emotional body, especially our nervous system, it comes with the body. Arya Kadosh, one of the big Kabbalists who simplify Kabbalah, I always love to talk about him. What he explained as well. He explained when female return here, there's in the upper level there's announcement when female coming. So female agree to take upon herself extra work of ancestral lineage even more than male, because of the capacity, because as a female in this dimension, we challenge even more, but we can handle more than male energy, because we have menstrual period. We do deal with negativity on different level. We can maybe sounds and seems hysterical, but really deep inside our body and our emotional can handle more than male energy. This is how this dimension was created when it's been cut, on male and female. But I want to not to confuse our audience, but at the same time, in front of the creation, according to Kabbalah and ancient technology, we are all female. Even the male who born here, I know it sounds confused. It's almost like in astrology. For example, Scorpio sign, it's a water sign, but it's in the fire vessel. It's a fire, it's the water sign, but in the vessel of fire. Because each sign beside that, they still have a different vessel. It's not enough, it's the soul, but it's in different vessel. So come back to your question about why woman needs to go to jail. So for example, if male had an assignment, he needs to go through jail. This is the agreement, but he did extra stuff because he already came with intense body. He already came with intense character. He almost sure going to create more environment, another opportunity to go even for longer jail. So it's mean female have to sit on upper level and wait for him until he will finish. So they tell him, why you need to wait? Go back, come back to help. I'm just telling you what the tzaddikim, what is the righteous, have so many discussions upon them, right? And as well, I heard many different things from my teacher, who not longer in this dimension, Rav Berg. He explained this matter in different situations as well. So what's happened? So it says when female coming back, she's taken up on herself more to steal, to go to jail, to go through things in order to remove certain level of negativity from the male, so he can accomplish his work quicker, so they can finish together, enjoying each other.
Okay, so her life is almost about.
And I make another say, and it's total trap.
Yeah.
And it's total trap, according to Esther Kanevksy. It's a total trap.
Yeah. Well, because it sounds like her life is then about helping him with his tikkun.
Yeah. I mean, he's tikkun in most of the time, but of course, there's a lot of still females who need to to work, but not just the male husband. They can even impose on you the male sons as well. This is why they constantly pushing women to to create more male, like a firstborn, and the male energy and male, because it's even more going to be imposed on women. It's almost like a vicious cycle. You see, we get right now to the concept that no one talks about. It's much deeper. So as if you know me by now, I cannot just answer to your question. Just that we need to go to the seed. We need to see the bigger picture, because without bigger picture, we never can search for truth. And of course, there's no end to search for the seed of things, but at least we need to go there. We need to go to the essence. This is why I always tell people, study, read books, read knowledge, read books of ancient technologies, see what resonates for you, see what's not, because some of them, they contradicting themselves. And some of them don't even know they contradict themselves even, because many times people create new information. There's nothing new under the sun, as the Zohar says as well. So here in this dimension, 5, 10, hundreds individuals in different part of the world gonna write the same information they receive, just with different names.
Yeah.
So there's never one person just receive information. I do recommend us one day to make a video only on Israelite and Jewish tribes, so we can expose there a little bit more what I know and what I believe. Now, come back again to the concept of soulmate. So if, let's say, hypothetically speaking, and this is actually what's happened in this matrix, I'm going to call this matrix Malchut. This is the world, this in Aramaic, the world we live in. It's called Malchut, and it represents female energy, right? So, because we do have different audience, different listenings who know some Kabbalah, some Kabbalistic knowledge, some knows only different type of spirituality. So I will try to combine, and everyone can get something from it. Now, we need to start from here. Okay, so let's say this is what's happened in this dimension. So let's work with that. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying this is the truth, but this is what imposed on us. Now, before we're going to reject that, we need to know how it works. And we need to we're still here. We still need to learn how to enjoy, to be here in this dimension, and how to love someone and to be lovable to other person. Because without that, this whole life here in this dimension become even more hard and miserable, and on top of everything was imposed on us. Now, liberty of the soul. It's really, really important for the partnership. The both people, when they get together, they need to have agreement. They need to have a clear understandings. Why they together? What is the expectation of this union? If another person just constantly search to meet someone to be happy, if you think by meeting someone can replace some luck you have or some level of happiness, it's not going to happen. It's going to happen maybe for a short period of time, but honeymoon end. If there's no similarity, if there's no concept of spirituality and willingness and desire to grow together, this union become disaster most of the time. It's create separation, and it's create vacuum of energy, and people can live for years together without really knowing each other, without really care for each other, but because it's in this matrix, you want to look good in front of the society, community, whatever, or kids, you're gonna suffer. Now, I want to bring here very quickly the Judaism. One of the thing I do believe, the Judaism as spirituality not as religious, because this has been completely corrupted by religious organization. The Judaism as a spirituality with the 613 613 mitzvot, the laws, the Jewish tribe, the Jewish tribe got, not Israelite. Israelites, it's a much bigger concept. It's one of the last laws. It's actually to get divorced. It's called the divorce called it's called blessings. So we need to ask, how come in Judaism actually divorce is a blessings? It's not like Judaism promote divorce. No, no, no. But one of the reasons, according to Ariya Kadosh and Kabbalists, I'm not explaining according to rabbis. I'm quoting, of course, there's some spiritual rabbis, which is but if you listen to any rabbis and they don't study esoteric Kabbalistic knowledge, the information come from very limited reality. Now, what's really important to understand, even according to Judaism, why Judaism approve, even call blessings as a divorce? Because it says when two people living together and they're not creating environment, Mashiach, the final redemption, the environment of Messiah, right, Messiah, then those couples create a negative environment, which is not good for quantum field for overall. And it's they just, if you have a war inside of the house, they potentially male, and if female not happy at all, male can even die, according to Zohar. I'm going to repeat again. It says in the Zohar, when two people together, they're not happy and they're not supposed to be together and they're just suffering, and another male waiting for this female, potentially, the male can die. It's actually very
Which you're saying another male is waiting for.
Yes, yes.
So which male would die?
The male she's married to.
Oh, wow.
It says in the Zohar, he can get sick, he can get different illnesses because he needs to be removed. If she is in this very, and especially female, and a spiritual journey, she's growing, she's really aligned with her soul, and she married to someone who completely against that, and they try everything, everything, then there's no sense. Why two people we're not supposed to, with all of these atrocities here, with all of the lies we've been imposed, at the same time, it says in the Zohar, the initial creation, the thought of creation, it's for all of us to be total happy and balance. So this is why, with all the other stuff, it says in the holy books, it says, and it's really important how a person divorce as well. You need divorce with so much love, with so much appreciation for each other, in order for you to attract proper relationship as well. It's really important. People don't understand the way how you end something. It's equally important how you start something new.
Wait, can we pause for 1 second? I have to open the door because my cat is crying at the door for
Of course, of course, of course, of course.
like a few minutes. She likes to be wherever I am. Sorry. Okay.
Yes. My baby's right now out, 4 of them. They might come back and will make some small noises too. It's okay. He can.
Okay, you don't mind if she's.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay, let's continue.
So we need to understand a few concepts here. So when two people together, the only reason they should be together, it's for the one particular purpose, to bring good energy to this world. If the two people, not, of course, as a, when you're together, you're going through a lot of things, but I'm talking about the essence. This is why the whole concept about the soulmate, according to what I believe, it's nonsense. And I will tell you why. I'm not here to discourage people to look for somebody who they really feel, they have affinity, and they, they want to build family together, or just, to have a partnership. But we need to understand something really, really important. Before we're going to look for somebody, we really need to find out ourselves. It's really important. Because when you will start to connect to who you are, to really to be transparent and truthful with yourself, you potentially can attract completely different person. Because it's so above, so below, same thing in the same dimension. Attract alike. You understand?
So would you have a different soulmate depending on how evolved you are as a soul?
So first of all, I don't believe in concept of soulmate.
Okay.
And I don't believe in concept on the flames. Yeah.
Okay.
Twin flames. And I will tell you why I'm gonna support my claims. I'm gonna tell you why. I would call this something different. First of all, there's a karmic relationship. And the karmic relationship, the way how it works, It's been assigned to you from the moment of your birth. In your even in your chart, if for example your seventh house have difficult planets, in your Venus being, or in the male chart, your Jupiter, not Mars. Mars has nothing to do with the male. It's Western astrology. Ancient astrology only consider Jupiter as a male. So if we're going to go to the seat and we're going to the chart, when I work with person charts, and they, for example, focus, they really want to work on the relationship. So we're going to focus how to clean this homework, how really to understand this homework and to move on from it, to understand. So because when difficult position imposing somebody in the chart, they're gonna have really hard time. They're gonna attract the same people. They're gonna have a same blame, same pain, and all the spiel, and constantly listen to nonsense videos who promising you, if you're gonna donate here or you're gonna make your hair like that, you're gonna attract somebody else. So this is why what's really, really important for us, first, you need to activate the creator DNA inside of you. You need to be very transparent who you are, to understand yourself, to understand all your shticks, and before you're gonna impose on other person, which has happened many times. And when free soul meeting another free soul, this is the soulmates. Because what's happened because we get into this world very soon, already in 2026, and it's not like I'm celebrating divorces, but it's going to be many divorces because people going to go spiritually so powerfully. They even physically going to feel weak and ill just by being beside certain people. And not because these people bad and you better, because your vibration, your energy, your quantum field cannot longer resonate. It's like when you took two magnets, plus and minus, in this reality we're already coming out, people used to somehow still be together. But soon it's going to be much, much stronger polarity. And people going to look for another person, not what family you came from, what's the skin you have. No, what spiritual level you at, what conversation, what vibration, what your intention inside of you and your quantum field represent. Because what's happened right now, if you notice, even the linear time right now is so shrink, we almost don't have time for anything. We wake up, have a breakfast, you do something, and it's evening comes.
Yeah.
And why? Because right now it becomes so real, everything. So when you with someone who you have a karmic assignment, coming back again to your natal chart, it's a difficult relationship. But when you both, but if it's happened, you initially enter to the karmic relationship and you both grew together spiritually, you actually can become really truly soulmate connection. This is the good news for people. People, don't wait for anyone to work for you. This is what I'm trying to tell. As soon you're growing spiritually, as soon you're really searching for the truth for you inside, and you're letting other human being, other your partner, to do the same, to go through the free, not impose your ideas, or especially when you're trying to be matriarch or patriarch in your household, right? The future of the soulmates, I'm going to continue use this terminology so people, true relationship is for total trust, no expectation from each other except one expectation, then both growing spiritual together. It's always going to happen. One will going to be a little bit in front, and one is all going to be a little bit behind. And then it can happen in an instant moment. Then one who was behind suddenly in front, another one can learn from another person.
So you kind of create your own soulmate.
Absolutely, you create your own reality.
So what happens, like,
go ahead.
sorry. So like what happens above when it's said, because I think maybe I understood incorrectly, but it seemed like you were saying that everyone does have a soulmate initially, or that the Zohar said that.
No, what Zohar says, before the world was created, the one soul as a complete soul was divided in two. Long time ago.
Oh, I see.
Not each time when reincarnate. When you come back, according to the people who do an astral, and even my, astral visitors, and everything what I learned, they impose on you when you return so many things, and they make you to meet with your grandparents. It's not even your grandparents. Your grandparents already reincarnate long time ago. They're just these beings who know how to transform to with it's almost like in the matrix, it's an illusion of the body, You can even put, you don't even have body, but you can even go around and it's transparent. And the people think, your parents, your grandparents, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad talking to you, and they telling you all the stuff, they're imposing on you. They telling you, you see this guy you met, he was supposed to be your soulmate. So they're choosing for you. You don't even know what is truth. So what I'm telling you guys, before you letting anyone telling you what to do, before you trying to live according to other egregors ideas, which is we're going to make, I know we receive so many videos, so many requests. I received like 7 emails for one purpose, for me to expand on the energy of egregors, how it works, everything we're going to talk about. It's the energy represent each group. Each group has a sign, a spirit, which is taking the energy and controlling you. So it's what's really important for us to understand. We are literally owners of our reality if we choose, and the capacity we can do in this matrix. Because we need to understand this matrix has a lot of limitation. Even the body we receive, it's one of the most vulnerable body, human body, it's considered one of the vulnerable bodies of all. Even animal kingdom has much stronger bodies. They don't need clothing, right? The baby animal, babies born, you look at the horse, almost same day they can walk, right? They can. What about human? We need the whole year just to, oh, where I am, what's going on with me, right? So you understand. So even the body, we cannot have resistance of cold. Most of us, heat. We impose on so many different illnesses. So our body very vulnerable. You understand? So even this dimension, we were given, our soul was given to practice. We need to be almost like, as an electrical field. If you do something off, you're gonna really feel it on different level, on a physical, emotional, relationship, and everything. So this is why your personal awareness, your personal discipline, the focus is extremely important. And I can't emphasize enough, one of the most important thing everyone should be really pay close attention, connect to our body, is our nervous system. Our nervous system is the key of connecting with the quietness of your own voice inside of you, because there's so many things happening around. We've been bombarded by so many different ideas, by so many different changes, and we've been affected by a lot of different complex situations. It's affecting our understanding where we should get and where we should be. Another trap. So this is why it's really, really important to learn to be on your own with your thoughts, but at the same time to be independent on what's happened outside, in order for you really to find true happiness, unconditional love, right? It's a really, really key. Unconditional love to you first, within you, before you can give someone else. So what I'm saying, really, to simplify it, whatever it's possible, we need to start with ourselves. Even you with someone right now, and you battle, oh, it's not my soulmate, he doesn't really like the food I like, he doesn't like to watch what I watch. It has nothing to do with who you need. What you need to find out for yourself first, who you are, before you're gonna teach somebody else or tell someone else how he should be. It's never gonna work. You're not with someone to change. It's one of the biggest misconception really about relationship. The relationship, it's really for two people to enjoy each other, to grow together, and to bring the goodness to this world. This is the really, if you
So
ask me. Yeah.
if we're always on a process of evolving ourselves, though, how do you know when you know yourself enough to say, okay, now I'm ready to like meet someone that I want to spend my life with?
It's a really good question. Of course, like everything else in this dimension, this matrix, there's no end to the conversation, but I love to simplify it. While I'm taking you guys to maybe a little bit deep in complex concepts, which is really important, because we need to study, we need to go deep on things, we need to study deep things, and we need to study things uncomfortable. At least because it's like our body needs to be challenged in order to stay healthy. At the same time, our mind need to be challenged by our intuition. Okay. You see, my darling, what's really important key to all of here is our intuition. Without intuition, you never can really understand who you are. But in order for you to even grasp what is really intuition, because remember, the same planet Neptune represent two polarity. It represent intuition and illusion, and they live in the same room. So when you grow in spiritually, when you start to be with the discipline of your thoughts, with your emotions, when you stay focused and not letting anything or anyone distract you with your own spiritual growth, you become more serious with your spiritual work, but not serious who you are.
Yeah.
But still, don't take yourself serious. Don't take your failures, your mistakes serious. Okay, so you make mistake, you acknowledge, make note of that. Don't be stupid. Don't be dumb. Because one of the problems we most of us, we really in this dimension, we're dumb, we're stupid sometimes, but we cannot acknowledge that. And this is another. What's really important for us, at least to acknowledge things we have within us. It's need to be reevaluated from different angle, sometimes very uncomfortable angle. But it's really important because without that, you need to challenge yourself within yourself while you love yourself. Because only with the loving eye, you can really understand yourself. But when you're going to blame yourself, when you're going to be too tough on yourself, when you're going to really have a not positive language within yourself, you're going to attract the same thing. It's like a vicious cycle. But for the relationship, to answer to your questions, it's until last breath we live here. We always can evolve and define who we are. But at least what's important for you, let's determine 3 steps. Let's summarize in the 3 steps, at least to start the process to potentially attract someone who you can be happy with, not who's going to make you happy. This language needs to be changed. Someone who you can feel balance. It's not someone who you need to like to be constantly happy, constantly needs to make jokes and stay on a certain level, or for women constantly to look certain way, to speak. No, 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 no. As soon you understand your process more, for example, to accept certain things which is really holding you from your happiness, from your silence, like self-sabotaging stuff. Like what I mean by lying yourself, when you blame, when you put blame on others, we always need to understand we teach people how to treat us by our own behavior and by energy. And we enter into the time when the words soon not going to have any value. The only thing going to be value is your intention, which is directly connect not with your mind or not with your brain, with your heart, with your gut feeling, with your intuition, with unseen realm, which is again connect to quantum field. This is why people, very important, stop study just Bible and other esoteric books. Start to study quantum mechanics, quantum field. You're gonna understand what is really spirituality about. It's a good to have a knowledge, study, but with that study what is really quantum field. Because the quantum field, it's when you really understand how it's operate, and it's already been confirmed by scientists, because quantum field change according to observer. When quantum field knows it's observed, he even the light, when you put light through different holes with different experiments, going to behave differently or multiply more if it's been absorbed by more than 2 people. So, and this is the quantum field we're all in, the photons, the electrons, and remember, we are electrical body, right?
So is that the first step?
So the first step to be aware, aware of how you behave. Observe yourself. Stop to be actor. Try to at least part-time to be movie director of your own show. Something happened or somebody said something to you, don't jump to conclusion. Don't right away answer. Observe. See why it's happened. How did you create this environment and how you end up with this environment? And it's not for the sake of the blame yourself. No, it's the practical spirituality. As soon you start to observe yourself and start to recognize the repetition of certain emotional trap, it's what's happened, your mind, you know how the mind operate? The best way to train mind is repetition. Your mind is a robot, it's the AI within us. We all go against AI. AI, it's only the blueprint of what our mind can do. According to Kabbalistic knowledge in Zohar, it says there's nothing never will be created more powerful than our mind. I'm talking about not soul. Soul, it's beyond. I'm talking about in this dimension.
Yeah.
Is a practical tool. So our mind need repetition. When our mind knows, then you got it. And our mind knows, then you absorb your mind, he start to work for you. But when you lose can and you constantly in emotions and you're waiting for other people to give you compliments and give you me, it's of course you're gonna attract, or you're gonna make someone good miserable, most likely.
It's like stepping back from your thoughts and like listening to them and being like, where's that coming from?
Yes, yes, as a so make note of that. Write it down. I really recommend to have your your diary and to write your thoughts. Extremely important. And then evening, come back. What I do when certain thoughts come to me, I always write down. I have a special in my I have a program, not program. I have a file in my cell phone. I always write it down. By evening, when I see it, I review and I'm like, oh, this is where I was. That okay? It's a good thing. This is the practical spirituality. So this is the first step. Observe yourself, observe your thoughts, observe repetition of certain things. Then you really want to change. The first step, recognition, make note of it, and then slowly, when it's coming back again, instead to jump, you're going to behave differently. So what's going to happen? Every time when we change and we behave differently, we attract potentially different outcome, right? This is how we attract. We have an expression in Aramaic, it says "itaruta deletata." "Itaruta deletata," it's a magical, it's like abracadabra. By the way, people
Sounds like
know.
Italian.
Yeah, abracadabra, right? It's a Aramaic word, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, abra. It's
Yeah.
to create. Yeah. Now, what "itaruta deletata"? Every morning I wake up, I say most of the time. Sometimes I forgot. I used to do every day. Now I'm saying this, so I'm gonna again start to say. It's really, really powerful in this dimension just to pronounce itaruta deletata. Itaruta deletata, it's to receive blessing beyond you're supposed to receive. And it's only can come to you when you start to do beyond the used to do. Every time you do something new, different way, you create a new environment. This is why it's so important, not just to change, to transform. It's not about change, about transformation. So the same energy you use for so much energy you gave for negativity or pain, now you said, "Wait a second, why I would even do such a thing? Now I'm going to do opposite, because what's happened? I'm going to change the way how I see things. In the beginning, you need to impose on you. You almost like need to sometimes force you. It's like you're going to the gym. In the beginning, and then as soon you see results, you wake up in the morning, oh my God, I already see results. I cannot lose it. Like more if you're not dumb. If you're dumb, you're coming back again until you become not dumb. I always say that, right? So this is the first step. Second step, as soon you start the process to be truthful to yourself, this is the first process when you already start to recognize what kind of partner, more or less, you can be with. Because we need to be practical with regards to relationship. When we hired, as you know, I used to own different businesses in my life. Some people know, I developed 3 businesses completely from scratch, like completely new. I had hundreds of people who used to work for me. I made millions of dollars. I lost millions. I made millions. So I'm someone who really evolved. My spirituality comes from big practicality. I met a lot of successful people who were very miserable. I met people who balance, and they really, especially my teacher who, not longer here. I met people who really evolve with spirituality and whatever level they could. And through the years as well, when you work with so many different people, so many different characters, especially someone like myself, from very early age, I think from age 4, I remember I was already observing people. Literally, I even used to pay attention on how people walk, their voice. The voice is extremely important. The way how you speak, the way how you express yourself, the way how you do have eye contact. It's who you are in this particular moment. The good news for all of us, you can use so many tools here in this limited reality to literally become like a god, whatever it's possible in this limited reality, and to find the happiness only within, not happiness because of you or because of something I bought.
I think that's the biggest, maybe not the biggest, but one of the biggest things for people nowadays.
Always, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So as soon So the first step, when you start to observe yourself, to recognize, try to start to be more truthful with yourself. The second step, you suddenly realize the people who used to like you attract, it's not at all the people you need. And this is the most beautiful process. Then you start to open up to people who you would never even pay attention. Depends on the status, depends the way how they dress up or how they look. And this is really one of the most beautiful process. This is the process when your soul finally start to shine and allowed you to communicate with the soul, not just with the human body. And this is when you can start the process of true connection on the friendship level, on the parenting, relationship, everything. It can improve everything if you, again, as a previously business owner, and especially when you provide employment to young people. For me, it was always a big responsibility. I even at one point, when I used to have a cold press juice factory, I even opened the farm department when I used to hire people with autism, because I love to work with people with autism. I needed to learn a lot, the Asperger's, the different ADHD, because those so one of like so beautiful. And I really want to create environment for them so they will be accepted and they will be understood, and the care, the love, the knowledge can be used in such a beautiful place. But this is in everything we should do. Look, you have your pet. Your pet, it's part of you. Look at this beautiful, beautiful, you know, she's actually want to be beside you because she's feel the light shine of you. In the animal kingdom is the kingdom created exactly before the human kingdom. They hold space for us so many places. This is why nowadays domestic animals, we don't, I have 4 dogs. We don't call them dogs, right? We call
They're kids.
kids. We don't call them dogs. No, we call them kids. So my friends call house the kids. First they ask,
Yeah.
right? And because they know, in our household, kids has such a high consciousness. Because, by the way, according to Ariya Kadosh, in the book of Gulgulot Neshamot, of book of reincarnation, he discussed a lot about animal kingdom, a lot. Such a beautiful things. He's talking about how this metrics. He doesn't call this metrics. He called this place Malchut. The how animal kingdom very important in our dimension, very important for humans to have actually domestic animal, which has completely been misled to in the religious community, which has really, really surprised me. Anyway, or maybe shouldn't surprise me. So the second step, suddenly recognize, then you can attract to different type of people than you never thought, because you change. You're returning back to you. And then the third place, to remove all the fears, nothing. Go with the open heart, a humble heart, a loving heart. You can attract someone you never thought it's even possible to be so happy. You can be with someone who you're gonna literally feel, then this quantum field, this is like already final redemption for you. No matter what's happening outside. This is why Baal Shem Tov, one of my favorite tzaddikim, he's like one of my best friends, I have to tell you, from very early age, I've been talking to him. One of the reasons I actually study Kabbalah, because when I was reading his books and I really connected to his soul, because Baal Shem Tov, it's one of the righteous people who create Hasidut, right? He initially was creating Hasidut from the heart, but everything changed. A lot of things changed. And he used to live in end of the 16th, beginning of 17th centuries. And he's the one of who communicate a lot about a vegetable kingdom, animal kingdom, right? And he used to pick up a person right hand and touch and to listen to his heartbeat in order to understand what is the or chokhmah, what is the wisdom person came to activate. And he always says, whatever physical difficulties you may have, or you have every illness, it's soon you activate or chokhmah, the light of wisdom, and you start to work on your purpose, all the illness is going away. This is how it's important to understand your purpose. But the only way for you to understand your purpose is the from liberty of the soul. When you're in jail, you're very limited. And we all here are slaves. Even myself on certain level. I'm trying to work, because while you're in human body, your own body constantly need, that you need to balance with it as well. You cannot neglect your body. You still, if you feel while you're growing spiritually, it's important for you how you look in everything, aesthetics and cleanness, extremely important for spirituality and for the partnership as well. But what coming, people will be really surprised. There will be couples you would never imagine. They're gonna come from such a different, even social backgrounds.
So what's going to be changing that all of a sudden
It's not all of this sudden. It's already processed a long time ago, especially for on the spiritual realm, for people, for the souls who already born and pick up this energy. But we're talking about the souls who was a little bit behind, who was still an illusion of what is really relationship and how the system works, because they're going through so much pain and suffering now, so much lack. Because by 2026, a lot of people who even financially used to be in a certain place, generation to generation, they're going to have much less. So when you have much less of certain comfort, you create new energy. This energy need to be filled with something, or it's going to be more pain and suffering. On opposite, what's gonna happen. You're gonna finally be so truthful with yourself. It's like you already letting go. There's a two ways people can grow. They can
Yeah.
from the free will, so to say, on the good condition, or they need to go from will, pain, and suffering.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
because people are going through like something that pushes them to evolve,
yes.
there will be changes sort of that impact the whole world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And communities. People gonna live by communities. People gonna join each other according to the vibration of your energy. There's gonna be communities when people gonna grow their own stuff, they're gonna create their own environment. And with the communities, people gonna join according to the spirituality you are at. It's gonna be invisible and people gonna talk less. It's gonna be even the spiritual people, because they're gonna have such an infinity. They're going to have so much love with the quantum field. Just to be together, they're already going to nourish each other. Because words, it's actually, words was given to us on very limited capacity. We've been overdue with the words. It actually says in the Zohar, in the holy books, then when we finish, when we're done with certain amount of words we came to speak here, we're gone.
Is that for the entire world or each person?
Each person. Each person. But let me tell you what's happening.
So
Mhm.
each person has a certain amount of words that they can
Yes.
say.
Yeah.
People used to tell that to me as a joke, as a child.
No, it is truth. It actually says in our ancient books. You have only certain amount limited abor of especially negative words. The one thing people need to be afraid of, and I want to scare people, it's when people speak evil speech about other person. We have to really stay away from analyzing, from speaking bad, or even analyzing other person with the third party. Because what's happened, when people speak lashon hara, we say in Hebrew, the evil speech about other person, it's always three people will be judged: the person who speaks, the person who listen to, and the person they're talking about. All of them will gonna be judged. You see, my darling, as you already know, and to our audience, it's nothing black and white, but at the same time, everything very simple. Everything so simple, then eventually we're gonna come to complete simplicity, how powerful we are. But because the other side convince us, then everything needs to be so complicated in order for you to earn something. It's nonsense. As soon you transform inside, the world will be completely different. When you're elevating yourself, even grass greener outside. You're gonna see so much beauty in everything. It's almost like you will have no words. You will be in so much awe of everything when you really understand how everything's serving you, and you serve everything. Even the table, the microphone we use, and the computer, everything has a soul. Is been created by another source who gave the energy, the thought, the talents, the time. And at the same time, when we're buying clothes, when come from places of pain and suffering, when come from places where a child creates your clothes, and it's sitting somewhere in the basement all the life, generation to generation, sewing our clothes, and this clothes coming from a lot of places. While yes, I believe we need to give the third countries workplace and everything extremely important, but at the same time, I believe soon we're gonna recognize more and more. You don't need so much clothes; you need only few, but it needs to be natural and good energy. Even including myself, certain clothes I can't even take energetically anymore, put myself, especially if clothes has synthetics, when clothes has certain particular energy, I can't even wear in I never was, years ago, never felt this way. But again, when you evolve spiritually, when you grow in spiritually, you don't even need to restrict with food. That's what I'm trying. In the spiritual world, real spiritual world, in the end, you don't need to restrict of anything. It comes everything natural. Like, for example, when you're on diet and you completely stiff, oh my God, I cannot eat this, I can only eat here. No, it's never going to work. People after gain with interest after the
Yeah.
diet.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's not, don't call diet, it's not diet, lifestyle. And if sometimes you want something, if really you feel, when you go in spiritually, you need to be so transparent with yourself. You need to enjoy. I'm telling people, enjoy yourself. If you already drink something or eat something, did you enjoy? Beautiful. Say thank you. And say, you know what? The way how I feel now, maybe next time I will try it. Don't make the whole lecture about.
But if we start to look at the world, because I'm also still figuring out what's true for me, right? And if we're looking at the world as a matrix and we're looking at ourselves as slaves and everything is a trap, then how do we enjoy the world?
I know, right? But you see, I never told us to look at ourselves as slaves. We do need to recognize we're in slavery. What I mean by slavery, we're very conditioned in order to be happy. So it's another way of golden calf. The golden calf is everywhere. It's up to us if we want to connect to things and give them energy as a golden calf. Well, we're gonna look at this just as another creation. It came, in our environment in order for us to use something, in order for us, but we are not depend. Our happiness do not depend on conditions of what comes. Because we need to understand, honey, it's always will come something, especially people who are very conditioned about things what make us happy. People suffer the most. Remember, when you suffer, people who looking for respect always run from them. And they constantly complain, they're not happy, they always look like in luck. But people who don't really care in respect, they just do because it's part of the essence. Even when respect comes, they okay, it's come, no problem. Okay, so it's like what you're saying basically, while you're slave, you on the way out of slavery. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's almost like the story about the horse. The farmer got a free, beautiful horse. Do you know the story?
I don't think so.
So I'm going to take it quickly because the whole life in it right now. I'm just telling the story. There's a farmer 100 years ago. Suddenly, one of his uncle passed away, and he gave him heritage as a horse, and it was a big deal because to have a horse, they used to have in the whole village only one or two horses. So suddenly he has a horse. Everyone comes to his place and say, "Oh my God, you're so lucky! You got a horse! My God, now you can go and farm with the horse and everything." And the man was sitting like that, and he's like, "Sure, okay." Then in few weeks, his son was riding the horse and he fell from the horse and he broke two legs. Everyone comes to him. Oh my God, it was a terrible horse. Miserable son. Oh my God, this is such a bad luck. You got the horse. So men look at everyone's like, sure, okay. Then after a couple months, war start. Everyone comes and collect young people to go to the war. They cannot take his son because he's still with broken head. Everyone, oh my God, you're so lucky. You have a horse. The horse saved you, and so on. You understand? And this is our life. So what's really important for us, it's not about what's happened to us, it's how we deal with that, what we see in that, right? What we call miracle and what it's actually normal life. What is really meditation? Because when you grow in spiritual, you don't just to find time from your chaos life, okay, now I'm gonna do meditation. No. When you really start to get, you constantly in meditation. Everything you touch with consciousness. Everything you look at you look at with love and life. Love. Because it's part of your essence, because you understand, then nothing really can make you happy. The real happiness comes from emptiness. Are you happy when you're empty? How happy you're going to be when you're not going to have anything? We need to go there because we're going there. We're going to find ourselves in different situations. It's coming. And a lot of people will need our help on a different level to hold the space, to hold the energy. A lot of people are going to need that. Because a lot of people still so much lost in this reality. They constantly on the vibe of what's happening, how much money I have, or what kind of food I can get. Oh my God, gonna have a food tomorrow. The person who evolved spiritually, he understood already. No matter what's happened, my happiness not depends on outside source. And the true relationship should build on that foundation. Only on that foundation, true relationship, not just can survive. I don't like to use this word survive, hope, all this nonsense. True relationship can really grow and evolve when when the couple, no matter what, female, male, or two males or two females, there's all other concept we can after talk about LGBT community, if we want, if anybody really curious about the lesbians, the gays, and people who find himself trapped in the body, have a essence of to be female and trapped in the body of male. We can discuss this as well. We're not here to judge anyone, not even for the second. You cannot even analyze anyone. The only reason you need judgment is for the safety. Like if it's the fire, I need to judge. Should I go there? No. But otherwise, really stay away from analytics of other people. You have no idea who this person is. You have no idea what this person went through. You have no idea what foundation this person get. How much we're so narrow and limited while we're so huge. This is why we feel not happy, because we're not using the tool was actually us. We're not using it. We're using everything else except who we are. You understand? So when the two people come together with this type of foundation, and then let's say after some years they find, you know what? I feel I'm looking for a different relationship now. You have a conversation. You say thank you for each other. Say goodbye and look for new. The whole concept of marriage it's another discussion. Again, I'm not, it's almost like when I talk about this concept sometimes with my clients, so I'm so not ready to hear that. It's almost like I can compare to concept, especially who pray, people who in religious environment, who used to pray every day. The prayers, it's like their foundation. I'm telling you, try to live without prayers for 1 week. Like, don't pray, just you. Nobody else exists. There's no imaginary God who needs to send you mercy because you need to be good girl, good boy, etc. If you want to pray for peace in the world, but while you're praying in the peace of in the world, pray different. Pray, then souls will be awakened, then peace will come. To come just ask for peace, it's going to be very temporary. The real peace comes from real foundation from within us, with our consciousness. So this is
But
why
when you talk about like creator or source, isn't that who we're praying to?
okay, so this is good conversation. It's a definitely we can.
Yeah, I know we moved around a little bit.
Do you know, for me, I can speak what it's mean for Esther.
Yeah.
What is the creator? For me, creator in everything. In my kids, in my computer, in everything. In you, creator. There's the higher consciousness, which is we all came from it, and there's a differently, evolve the higher. But even the higher consciousness do not want to tell you what to do here. The reason you separate and you came in order for you to understand in a free will what is really to be creator. But since when some priest, rabbi, some a mom, somebody gonna come, hi sweetie, it's beautiful, come to you and tell you, do not walk like this, do not dress up like that, do not eat. Because you know, in the Torah, in the Old Testimony, which has been rewritten many times from different books, it's actually, it never says, for example, you can't kill, or you can't. There's not such a thing. It's not even commandments. It's a wrong interpretation. It's not recommended to steal. It's not recommended to kill, because there's a cause and effect. It's a different way approach. With the free soul, you cannot say you can't. You can. Obviously, people kill other people, but it's not recommended, because you need to. You're going on the street. You're gonna step on somebody's feet. You're gonna see right away cause and effect. And maybe this is how you need to learn. Sometimes, you can, even when we impose on our children, we need to, as less as possible, impose on ideas. We need to live as an example for our children. They observers. On certain period of time, until especially they 7 years old, before soul step up, before 13 and 12, soul observing everything. It's there, it's like you are in this matrix, this body is another avatar. It's really, until 7 years old, the inside energy more powerful than avatar, after avatar taking over, because children, this is why number one thing as a parent, stay away from to talk about anyone in front of your children. Never. You literally creating that angel, whatever you guys believe in. We have a mezuzahs at home. No mezuzah can help you if you're going to speak about other person evil speech at home. You completely creating that energy inside, because what's your child and you, everyone, they will think it's okay to analyze other person. We came here to understand, You don't need to accept other person. I'm not saying, but you, at least you need to understand other person. When you understand other person, it's a different way to live. You understand?
Yeah.
You understand to understand? Because the question more important than the answer. She just wants to say hi. She wants to be.
She really needs to play. I have to play with her after.
Yeah. She's so beautiful. Oh my goodness. So you see, this is why we can always check ourselves when we're with animals, because we're unconditional. Or how we're with babies most of the time, because really baby cannot tell you where it's hurt. Well, you need to go extra mile. You need to really guess, okay, how does this feel? It's to change now, to feel. You constantly need to be. But why we're not like that in a good way with other people? You know, it's really important. We constantly waiting for to admiration, to be accepted. But do we do the same to others? It's very simple. It's really cause and effect. And this, one of the beauty of this matrix, it's really we live in the world of cause and effect, the boomerang. But it's become a little bit different right now. But you see, you don't need to be good in order because you're afraid something bad come to you. Maybe for some people it's good to start, but eventually you do because it's part of your essence. You don't do good because you want to receive back. You do because you already know you cannot do differently. And this is the essence. So we need to start this conversation. So we're with someone. If you really feel this person really not for you, don't leave this person right away. Give this person more love. Show this person more mercy while you're growing. It's really important. And if you see, because the only way for somebody maybe to change a little bit is by your own example, how you give love, how you not calculating things, how you, and very important in partnership to have a quiet time together. It's really important. It says when you can be silent with someone and to be completely happy and understood, it's another level of balanced relationship. Understand? It's really, really important to give always love. And even sometimes you have a conflict, if whoever has a partnership, when person leave, make sure you're going to look at this person before he leave with the loving eye. Same thing with the children. It says never be angry, especially with your child. Even when you're upset, don't be upset inside. Don't have a anger. Just for the whatever you want to be strict with your child. But while you do this with so much loving eye. Because it says in the Zohar, there's not worse eye and eye can be of the parent. Parent can put worse eye and ra on the child than actually people outside.
Wow.
I know. We need to be aware of that. But with all of that, while we evolve, it's a step by step. So this is why, for example, when I work on natal chart of the person, I need to understand where person at. Because if person not in spiritual evolvement at all, I can tell in the natal chart how this person love to drink coffee. The stars completely direct to you. It's like that.
Yeah.
Soon you zoom out. Stars like, okay, we've been observed. Oh, it's observing. Let's trick this person here. Let's trick the person. No, I already understand your tricks. Because your mind, it's not you. You need to talk to your mind as a third identity. When mind knows you're consistent with discipline, he's falling. It's like it's a computer inside of us, right? It's a robot. Really, really important. So, Midranik, I actually need to go. We have a very busy day. And tell me if you have any other question right now, like to summarize. What do you feel now from this video for you? You got, if you want to summarize in a nutshell.
There was so much that we talked about. I think it was good to sort of talk about like the 3 steps for like in relation to finding someone, like a relationship. I think I'm still absorbing everything because the whole discussion, like when we talk about prayer, I'm a little bit like stuck in the whole concept of prayer, like thinking right now, because we talk about the
Oh, it's
Zohar.
good to just remind me. I thought I start something I didn't finish, the prayer. So when I tell people stop to pray at least for 1 week, people feel like naked. Oh my God, emptiness, even fear. I don't have someone I need to depend on it. I don't have something right now which is I was really waiting to receive. No, it's you, only you now. It's a good place to start. It's a different level of responsibility.
Mhm.
And if eventually you're going to come back again, to your prayers and everything, even your own prayers will have completely different, outcome, because then you're not going to just pray for something to work for you. You're going to take full responsibility how you speak, how you behave, how you touch, how you take care of things, how much appreciation you have, and so on. You understand? Because it
Yeah.
says in the Zohar, and it says about Torah, a person who interpreted Torah directly would never born, should never born. So what it says
Who
for
wrote the
us,
Zohar? Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai.
Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, yes.
And he probably prayed a lot.
He prayed a lot, but it's another
how-
very heavy matrix. Honey, I'm bringing the Zohar always to the example because we live in the matrix. You need to understand how the matrix, what is the best of the best inside of the matrix. I have to tell you, I'm not praying. I stopped praying everything. I'm only evolve myself inside of myself. Prayers do not mean anything for me anymore. I can, if somebody going through, so I can send the energy by asking for this soul to evolve. Not please remove illness. It's not going to happen. New illness will come to this person because he didn't change inside. The only prayer we need to send to another person, just change, transform. Therefore, your system, your quantum field, your molecules, your blood, everything starts to receive different information and you become different person. This is the only way, according to me.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah. It's a big shift.
Yeah. I love you guys. I love you all. I really have to run. Thank you so much, sweetheart. It's such a good to be in your quantum field. And I hope, guys, you enjoy to be in our quantum field because, you know, when I speak, when I evolve, anyone who watch this video, receive energy of my quantum field, receive my desire, receive the love I have for all of you. Please feel it with all your essence, how much you can be loved. Okay? All the
Thank you so much for having me again. I hope everyone enjoyed also.
Of course. Thank you so much.